welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oge Amici. I am really excited to be back, and I know somebody's probably going, excited to be back. Who know you before? You don't know me before, you will know me now. You already know my name, so that's, something. Back. I've not put out any video in a really long time because life happens, I guess. A lot of things have just been going on at the same time, but I'm back, and that is a story to be told for another day. A story, why I've not put out video is a story to be told on another day. Speaking of stories, the story I have for you guys today is just this thing means mind-blowing. Because when I read about the story, when I heard about it first, and when I read about the story, I was like, I don't know what to think, but I'm probably sure some of you have heard of the video, some of you haven't. If you haven't, come on this journey with me, my brother, my sister, my friend, whoever you are, mama, papa, whoever you are watching this video, just come with me. I have to write some things down because honestly, it's not a story. I don't have to come anything, I beg. So this story is called The Cellar of Hell. Some people called it the Fritzl basement story. So I might not even be getting the pronunciation well, but the pronunciation of this person's name, I will spell it as we go forward. So I'm going to be talking about Elizabeth Fritzl. This is an 18-year-old girl that was raped by her dad for 24 years. No, she was raped by her dad for 3,000, like he raped her 3,000 times, and she was in the bunker for 24 years. Let's just go in. I mean, he raped her 3,000 times, so yeah, I mean, maybe I did not even say that well. It's called The Cellar of Hell. Dun dun dun. It's Nigerian film, and it's a story of Elizabeth Fritzl. Maybe I did not say the introduction wasn't right, so I'm doing it again. So she was in a cellar for 24 years, and she was raped by her father for 3,000 times. 3,000, not 300. So I would just I won't say I'm sweating, but the story is just making me itch. So if you're not the type that likes to hear stories about rape or anything, maybe it triggers you, I'm really sorry, but just subscribe and don't listen to this story, because some people don't like to hear about things like this, so I'm sorry in advance. So as a girl that I am, I was just like this, and I was about this thing, or when I was looking about it or doing research about it. So apparently Joseph and Rosemary, or Rosemaria, however they pronounce the name, for Joseph and Rosemaria, just take note of the names so that you don't mix it up. Joseph and Rosemaria, that's Joseph and his wife, Joseph and Rosemaria Fritzl, married when they were 21 and 17. That's Joseph was 21 and Rosemaria was 17 in 1956. And they settled in Australia and had 7 children. I know I'm counting 7 children. That's 5 girls and 2 boys. So by the time Joseph, that's her husband, was like 35, God already get record though. So he already had like a long rap sheet of records of like things he had been arrested for, which was rape, attempted rape, indecent exposure, fraud, and arson. For some people that don't know what arson is, at first I did not know what it was. I'm not even going to lie. Not now, not doing this research, before. Do you know what arson means? Somebody that just, how do I explain this? Okay, somebody that puts, like, for example, let me not say for example, arson is like a situation where somebody burns their property or just destroys his property for like insurance. It's kind of fraud too, because I think it's insurance fraud, Abby, because like you end up destroying your property by yourself just so that you get your insurance gives you money, or pays for whatever you have destroyed. But obviously some people have sense, they investigate and they find out that it's not true. Yes, I used to hear of the word, I used to hear of that scenario, but I didn't really know that arson was the word for it. I'm not going to lie, but I heard someone explained it to me, so I'm telling you now. You can find the dictionary meaning if my explanation is not enough for you. So Mr. Yosef already has a rap sheet already safe, but he's 35, so he was just 35 when he had all these things. So it's not even it's not like, oh, what? So for somebody that, it's not like when I first saw it, I was like, okay, I'm already like taken back, like, okay, this is somebody that already has a record, so why didn't the wife just carry her children and go? It's not that easy, honestly. Maybe now there are opportunities or there are room for women to be able to do that, but before 1956, no, even if the man is killing you, you'll be staying there. Let me not deviate her. So one day, Joseph and Elizabeth, remember the story is about Elizabeth. So Joseph and Elizabeth, who was 18 years at that time, Joseph called her and was like that, oh, she should help him carry the door to the basement. Little did she know that that was like going to be the last thing she would see, and that was going to be the last encounter she would have prior to entering the bunker, the basement, the cellar, whatever it is called. So Joseph was fixing the door to the bunker and all that. So while Elizabeth was holding it, he had already dosed the handkerchief with aesthetic, so with hey, English, he had already dosed, sorry, not aesthetic, sorry, he had already dosed, oh my god, wait, tell me just, he had already dosed the towel, oh Jesus, with an anesthetic, sorry, that's what I wanted to say, anesthetic. Well, he had already dosed it with something, so, and obviously while she was holding, no, he had not dosed it with something, sorry, he had dosed it with something called an anesthetic. So it's something that even if they used it in the hospital to kind of put somebody to sleep. So yes, he had already dosed the towel with that. So while she was holding the door, he just placed it on her nose, and obviously she was unconscious at the point that he did that. So I'm just sorry that I'm taking small pauses in between. It's just I don't know how to just assimilate the story, do you understand? So I want to try and give you a scenario of what the bunker looks like, or what it was like. Most people will be like, first it was Joseph, however, he was the one that kind of built it. So you would think, oh, he must have really made it conducive for her, do you understand, since he built the place himself. Or somebody that was, that already had a rap sheet of rape, as attempted rape and all those mentally troubling things, you think he would have small sense and make the place conducive. That did not come out right. But most people would just think because he built the bunker, the cellar, whatever he built himself, he would make it conducive. He did not. He built this place was so small that you cannot see anything. Sunlight no dey enter, and then the door, okay, I don't know how many of you might have been to a studio before. You know how the door is like, it's as if they used to put foam in between the handles of the door, so it makes it really soundproof. You cannot hear a thing. If somebody's recording, you won't be able to hear what the person is saying. Do you understand? That's how they make those studio doors. That's how he made the door. So he built the house. I don't know, he just built the place. In every house we always have somewhere, either it's our passage or those small corner before our bathroom. Like that's how it was, like maybe on the passage where no one would suspect, where everybody just passing anyhow. Like the place was like literally underneath it. So, and it's soundproof. What would you think? You're just running anyhow, your mind no go there. That's really how I'm just trying to paint how the bunker was. So you know, it's where you say, won't someone have suspected or anything like that? When your passage, all those small corners at home, nobody really used to, all these small corners before you go to the kitchen or before you go to the bathroom, no one really suspects anything there, because you're just, do you understand my point? So that's how he built the cellar, the bunker, whatever. You could not even, soundproof, no lights, nothing. The place was dark as, I don't say dark as hell because I don't know what hell is. I don't know what hell looks like, but it was sure dark. So apparently, you know, it's normal. Rosemary, that's her mom, you know, filed a missing persons report when, you know, Elizabeth wasn't seen for a couple of days, which is normal. And then, you know, so Joseph, not our guy, it's not my guy, Sha. Joseph now apparently writes a letter, and you know, this letter apparently was from Elizabeth. So in the letter it says that, okay, that she has grown tired of her family and, you know, ran away, which obviously she didn't, because it was obvious that it was Joseph that wrote the letter. So Joseph, the mastermind guy, now said, oh, obviously that, you know, she has likely joined a cult, which is something that she had talked about doing before, and he knew exactly where apparently that she had joined a cult, because it's something that she had been talking about before. So, you know, there's no need to panic, do you understand? But Mr. Joseph knew exactly where she was, which was 20 feet under. But you know, Rosemary obviously accepted it because she doesn't have a choice, do you understand? It's her husband, she really has to believe him. And it's not like Elizabeth was, I'm not trying to blame her, don't get me wrong, it's not like Elizabeth was the most obeying child in the world. She had talked about running away from home before, so it's normal for him to use that, do you understand? So he used that as the niche to say, okay, this is what we're going to follow, this is it, do you understand? And obviously everybody believed it because he's her dad. I wouldn't think that, you know, sorry, Rosemary, her mother, didn't think that, okay, he was wrong or anything like that. And because Elizabeth was somebody that, you know, talked about running away from home, so everybody just agreed. And so everybody agreed that, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. So, you know, obviously while she was in captive, Joseph, I'm just going to read this for you guys so you understand. Joseph raped Elizabeth so many times over the course of 24 years that she gave birth to seven. So apparently when one of the 7 children that Elizabeth had given birth to for her father, when one of the babies were sick, Jesus, when one of the child was sick, English is not my mother's tongue. When one of the child was sick, and had a life-threatening complication, instead of Joseph taking this child to get medical attention, Joseph cremated this baby. You know what cremation is? They only cremate dead people, but he cremated this. That's just to show you this guy's mind is just maybe somebody. I remember when I heard the story for the first time and I was telling someone, and he was like, the first time I came out of bed to say it's only white people that would do this. In his mind he was like, Nigerians are not this crazy. More craziness no get tribe or race or anything. No, anybody that, I mean, what would you not say about people that rape, like people that rape their own child? They have child, like there's no difference between that. We hear stories every day of like fathers that are raping their daughters and even giving birth, and they are still in the house and everything. Basically, craziness doesn't have tribe, race or anything. So, you know, for that guy that said, oh, he feels like, because he feels like only white people that do this kind of thing, anybody can do this. So, my dear people, he cremated the child. So, apparently, Joseph didn't wait. This one's going to bust your head. So, he had cremated one, leaving just 6. So what he did was he had to find a way to bring the children up, because they can't just be there. I told you, remember, that place was really small. The bunker, the cellar was really small, no light, nothing. So what he did was he claimed to have discovered these children. Do you understand? That's what he told Rosemary with his wife, that he had discovered the children. Do you understand? So what he did was 3 of the children lived underground. Their names Felix, Kristen, and Stephen. They lived underground, while Lisa, Monica, and Alexandra lived with Rosemary. Because obviously, how would you discover 6 children? So he just had to plot his way. Do you understand? So 3 lived with Rosemary, 3 lived underground. So somebody would be asking, oh, how would you just convince, okay, if you convinced your wives, how would you convince your neighbors, people you're friends with? So apparently the story that he went with was, I'm really sorry if I'm going fast. The story he went with was that his daughter Elizabeth had left the children on their doorstep. He made everybody believe that Elizabeth ran away now, and she had joined a cult. So apparently, not only did she join a cult, she had gotten pregnant, and she dropped the children, at their doorstep. That was the story he was going with. So that she did not want to raise them with the court. So obviously, everybody would believe now, because Elizabeth apparently was the crazy one. So to prevent escape attempts, Joseph told the 4 captives, to avoid them from escaping, he told them, the 4 of them, that's Elizabeth and the 3 children, that if they touch the door, they'll be electrocuted and they will die. Of course, she's going to believe this, somebody that has been there all her life. She has been there, not all her life, but since she turned 18. So obviously, she's going to believe her father now. So now, okay, yes, sorry, I need to mention something. He had told them that not only would they be shocked that once they touch it here, there's a poison that would be released and they would all die. That was the story he was sticking with. So one of the children, that's Kristen, remember I told you that remember I told you that Lisa, Monica, and Alexandra lived with Rosemary, that's Elizabeth's mom, and Felix, Kristen, and Stephen stayed underground. So Kristen, one of the children that stayed underground, got sick in 2008, and in an emphasis on uncharacteristic, that is the word I use, in an uncharacteristic manner of Joseph, he drove Kristen to the hospital. That's the, in the Nigerian film, that's the gang part, like, that things are about to happen. So now he drove her to the hospital because she was suffering from kidney failure. At least he did not cremate. At least he did not cremate this one. That's what I wanted to say. Calm down. Like I keep saying, English is not my mother's tongue. So he did not cremate this one now. So police were concerned about the deadly pale girl. So they put out an appeal for her mother to contact them. That's Elizabeth. So apparently he went with the same story. Elizabeth dropped Kristen. So police now, in their right senses, they had to put out a word. Okay, Elizabeth, whatever court that you're in, please come. Let us know what's happening with your child. But Elizabeth is on that ground. She's not in any court. So now, Elizabeth watching them, yes, they had a TV. So Elizabeth watching them, yes, they had a TV. I did not mention that before, but I'm mentioning it now. Sorry for those that are following this story wholeheartedly. I'm really sorry for not mentioning that they had a TV in the bunker. So Elizabeth was, watching them on the TV. She begged her dad to set her free, let her just see the baby. So he agreed, which is an uncharacteristic thing for somebody that's as psychotic as Joseph. So you would know that it was her time, for redemption. It was also her time to leave. So he agreed, and he forced her into saying she was in a secret cult. He said, okay. The policeman enlisted the help of a man named Manfred, hope I'm getting it right, who was a cult expert. They cannot do this one in Nigeria. Nigerians, I don't think, God please forgive me, I'm from Nigeria, I love my country, but if something like this had happened, I don't think we would go this deep in investigation. So they obviously enlisted the help of a man, and shocker, he did not buy any of the excuses. Not like I'm shocked. He's a cult expert. So this is somebody that knows how everything happens, knows how people get into court and everything. So obviously he did not believe it. So he did not believe it because they seemed false. So as usual, even as we see in films, you know, the officers were able to get Elizabeth alone, and she revealed the entire story. Ah! She revealed the entire story on the condition that she would never see her father again. Are you surprised? So, you know, oh my god, it was an 11-hour testimony, 11 hours testimony. So imagine somebody talking for 11 hours straight up, and back to back the stories were just gang, back to back. Do you understand? I'm sure everybody, if I was there, this was just doing, hey, I would behave like my mother. Jesus Christ. Hey Jesus, if you're telling my mommy's story like this, well, let me not do my mommy's time to this, but it was just no. I'm just thinking about it, Sha. Let me just finish the story before I go into what I have to say. So it was an 11-hour testimony, and she told them everything, and obviously Joseph was arrested and he was given life imprisonment. I don't understand. This is somebody that's supposed to just be, do you know why I've just felt like life imprisonment is not for somebody like that? This is somebody that was already old when he had gotten into prison, so it's like he's already waiting for death. Like, he already knows he's going to die, so why give him that? Because now I hear that sometimes some prisons, not all prisons, but they are really fine. Do you understand? So I don't think, if I was the judge or if I was the one in charge, I don't think I would have given him that kind of liberty to even be alive. I would just kill, like, no, I wouldn't kill him, but I would, you know, sentence that he be killed, you know, death by hanging or something. Because for me, knowing that somebody that did this to me is still alive would just keep putting me in, I don't really know how to explain it, but I can just imagine the PTSD she would have from this. How I cannot even imagine, because honestly, she was raped by her own father. This is somebody that we have God that protects us, God or whatever you believe in that protects us, and then he gives us earthly parents. You understand? I look at my dad and I'm like, okay, he's the one, you know, we all look at our parents, they protect us, they guide us. Never in my mind would I go, I don't want to say this in my mind, but like, I'm like, maybe in my mind would I go, let me just use, never in someone's mind would they go, my father is going to rape me. You don't think, your mind wouldn't go there. You don't think like that. I mean, I don't use me because never in my mind would I think that kind of thing. But that's just to show, you do understand. Back to what I said before, I said God or whatever you think created you did not wire us to have any sort of sexual, we're not sexually attracted to any of our family members. That's how he made us. That's how we're supposed to be. But then, you know, the world is changing. People say, oh, I was impregnated by my cousin and I'm in love with my cousin, I'm in love with my brother. And I'm just like, I mean, sometimes we even look at our parents when they try to kiss themselves, you're disgusted by it. So now when imagine, let me not say you imagine. So now imagine what Elizabeth had to go through. Her father literally raped her. Oh well, ja. All the children, the 6 children, 6, because remember one died. No, one was cremated by her own grandfather. So the 6 children ended up, you know, they all lived together with Rosemary, and they all had to go for therapy, obviously. But it doesn't, I don't want to just start explaining anything, because put yourself in her shoes. Even if you're a guy, or just imagine like someone has to be raped 3,000 times and you give birth for your own father. So in other words, her children, it's not like you're not calling your grandfather, you're calling him father. Your grandfather is your father. I think the best thing that would have just been done was that I just killed him, so that I know that I would just rest. Because for me, knowing that someone that did that to me is still alive, even if you're in prison, for you to have that kind of crazy mind, you can plot anything from prison. That's just the truth. But once I know you're dead, period. Anyway, that's the end of the story. I'm really, really happy you watched this and you followed me with, you know, I keep saying, well, I'm happy that you want. I'm just happy that you're able to hear me blab, talk about the story. You know, remember the name is The Cellar of Hell, and it's just crazy. That's just, I don't want to start repeating almost everything I said about it, so it's not easy. And that's it, honestly. That's the story I have for you guys today. And I feel how I feel. I feel the same way I felt the first time I heard of this story. I was just in not like where you're happy. So that I was like this. If I tell mommy this kind of story, like mom will just begin like this. If she walks, she'll be, hey, you know what? I just feel somehow because I'm just trying to imagine it. I don't want to get emotional. Well, let me drop all the ceremony. That's all I have for you guys today. I'm really happy that you went. I want to say you went on this journey, but it's not a journey. But I'm just happy that you're able to listen to the story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. You know, I know you can never be in Elizabeth's situation, but you know, just hearing about this, would you have preferred that they killed him, or do you think, oh, the thing that it was fair, like Joseph giving the life sentence, sorry, was fair, you know, let him live the rest of his old life in jail, or they just prefer that they, you know, just kill him and just end the chapter there so that the girl can move on with her life. Not like she has not moved on, but like I said before, for me, knowing that somebody that did that to me is alive would just, I would feel like he would still be plotting. But anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think that he should have just been killed? Like the judgment would have just been, oh, they should kill him, or you think it's fair that he was given life sentence? Let me know what you think, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification. I cannot mention this alone. Please subscribe. Thank you.